Middle of winter, so we thought we'd get into a bit of midwinter madness. Thanks to global warming, we can go for a bike ride. So we headed out for a bike ride and got me thinking about group rides and how we act differently and how we ride differently when we're riding in a group. Anyway, check it out. If you think it's interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you after the introduction. Righto, we're just going for a checkerbow. Been through some fog this morning. It's trying to burn off. Some mountaintops there. Normally we're going to see mountains all around at the moment, middle of winter. Plenty of snow about on the tops. Shame we can't see up the end of the lake. But anyway, heading towards Timaru. Moment we're right in the centre of the South Island near the mountains. So I was thinking a couple of days ago about how we ride when we're getting a group rides and how we might change our riding habits when we get into a group. Today, for example, there's 5 of us. Probably youngest of us will be around 50. So we've been there, done that, all of us, pretty much. All of us had a crack at racing over in our youth, I guess. Now a bit more content just to cruise around, but why I talk about this is a couple of weeks ago, for example, there was a big rally, biggest, probably the most well-known motorcycle rally in New Zealand, the Brass Monkey. It's been going for 40 years, and they had the 40th and supposedly the last one a couple of weeks ago. Middle of winter, and sleep in a tent, get drunk, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, unfortunately and tragically, there was an accident on the way to the rally, and a rider was killed. And of course, it's obviously never a good thing, and you think of the families and all that when something like this happens. But and I don't know the details at all, so I'm not using that as an example or anything. It just was a reminder to me of well, I remember when I went to the Brass Monkey some years ago. Basically, you know, how people ride when they get in groups. You think about it, you got a group of guys, especially younger guys. You got a guy in front that's, you know, he's probably wanting to show everybody, you know, drag them off, I suppose, or show them how good he can ride and at speeds and things, and off he goes. And then you got the people behind him, of course, trying to keep up, not wanting to be left behind or anything like that. And you think when you're passing things, your big line of bikes, and you're passing some slower traffic, get out there and first couple of bikes get through, and then you see something coming, you don't want to have to roll off the throttle, and so you just squirt it and get through, and hey, maybe you get through fine, or maybe that car has to pull over onto the side, give you some room to get through. But anyway, most of the time everybody gets through. But these are things that if you're riding alone or when in a big group like that, maybe you wouldn't take those sorts of risks. riding, you know, beyond your ability. And I was a motorcycle riding instructor. I never forget, he said, he said, always ride your own ride. So what does it mean by that? Well, what he means is, you know, exactly that, ride your own ride. If Joe Blow wants to go, you know, 10 temps, let him go. You ride your ride. You're still going to catch up in the next town. It's not like, you know, you're never going to see them all day, or you don't feel obliged to push yourself further than your limits just to keep up. And I know, maybe I've never really heard of it in New Zealand, but I know from watching YouTube, a lot of American YouTube channels talk about chicken strips. So if you don't know what a chicken strip is, that's, I'm pretty sure it's the 2 strips on the sides of your tyres that you don't use, i.e. you're not leaning over to the max. And so they're called chicken strips, and I'm sure obviously the younger you are, the more important chicken strips are to you. I guess get to my age, you don't really care. Who cares about chicken strips? Yourself, or are you worried about what other people think? So, you know, there's pilots have a saying, and it goes like this. They say that there are old pilots and bold pilots, but there are no old bold pilots. You know, and it's, you know, you can apply that to motorbike riding as well, you know. I know when I was racing motorbikes, by the last 2 years of racing motorbikes, I never rode my road bike. Didn't feel safe on the road. I felt safer on the track. Why is that? Well, everyone's going the same way for a start. You're not going to come around a corner and some turkeys on the wrong side of the road. All going the same way. And plus, if you think about it, on track, you know, you get to know, well, you should know before you start racing, warm-ups and practice laps and things like that. You get to know the track. Whereas on the road, you might not be so familiar. Road condition might not be as what you expect or what you've experienced in the past. So, you know, save it for the track. And I know that sounds old and boring, but, you know, I was watching a YouTube channel the other day, an American guy, and I put a link down below in the description, and he was talking about, he'd had all sorts of bikes, but he was talking about, you know what, he actually just really likes a super motard bike now. He said, it's not about the top speed, it's about the exhilaration which he likes. So, you know, we all like to crack the throttle and take off, and you know, I know, you know, if I'm going 240, I don't think it'd be exhilarating. I think I'd be freaking be fearful. So I don't think it would be, it would be exhilarating maybe as well, but definitely an element of fear there. So I think this guy is onto something, you know. It's cracking the throttle and taking off, you know, 2nd, 3rd, 4th gear, and then of course you roll throttle off normally and just cruise along. What's the funnest part, you know? Taking off. So you don't have to go 240 to get the enjoyment out of accelerating away. So anyway, it's just some thoughts on riding in groups. Like I say here, we've got a couple of Ducatis, 3 Harleys. Everybody's done a lot of riding, and you know, comfortable spacing. Still have that 2-second rule between bikes. And we see one of the guys before we stopped for lunch, he blasted ahead, and we let him all go. We let him go. We know we're going to meet up with him, so there's no point in chasing him if you don't feel like it. We all get there in the end. Anyway, there's some thoughts there. Just going into Burke's Pass now. Foggy on the pass here, so it should be clear when we get out the other side towards the coast. This corner on the road here, a bit of an intersection off to the right, famous dog kennel corner from the old settler days, I guess it got its name. Take that road, it takes you down to the what we call the Hacker Pass, okay, Hacker Taramea, and it's a gravel road, but a very nice ride for adventure riders, guys on adventure bikes, all gravel, and you come out at Kurau in the Waitaki Valley. So it's a great ride to do, and just not on this bike. Anyway, we're heading up to the pass now. Smaller pass, delineates coastal Canterbury from the interior basically, and we're heading out to the coast, of course. So yeah, that's what's happening. Gonna stop a small little town called Burke's Pass. Just got a little cafe there and a few houses. We're stopping there and meet a few of the other guys who got away later this morning. So anyway, shame about this fog. Beautiful mountains over here, snow on the tops of those, but we can't see today. Pretty cool riding through all this fog too. I guess the moisture in the air keeps temperature down. The old bike temperature gauge says 57. Normally run about 72, 73. So this cold moisture in the air is keeping the old temperatures down. Anyway, let's hope it's, well, I know it'll be a little sunny and clear when we get through the pass. Okay, we're going down the pass now. Got to be careful in winter if this road's wet. It is shady in here, and so if there's frost coming down here, it can be frosty or icy right through the day in the middle of winter. It's something to bear in mind if you're riding around the South Island in winter. Burke's Pass, Linda's Pass, Arthur's Pass to a certain extent as well. Basically all the passes in winter. Make sure you check your weather and know what the road conditions are like before you tackle them. Anyway, out of the fog, beautiful. What a great day to ride.
Well, we caught up with the rest of the guys and spent another 2 hours riding. I'll probably do another video for that. So I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ride safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.